Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we're going to pay further tribute to Dickey Betts of the Allman Brothers Band by playing one of the tracks that the band played at their Great Woods show, which was captured on DVD. This was a 1991 show. It was kind of their comeback after a lot of fans had kind of thought maybe that was the end of the band. Thankfully it wasn't. So I put up a Dickey video yesterday, just having to do with the albums he appeared on in the Allmans and what his contributions were in terms of songwriting. There were a couple I didn't have at the time because I'd been playing them, but one of them is this one, First Set from 1992. They're standing in front of the Orpheum Theater. Oh. And so you may have been at one of the shows that was captured on here. Yeah. But the version on here is very much going to be like the one that we hear, I believe, just from memory, because I actually remember clearly what Blue Sky sounded like. That's what we're watching today, if I haven't mentioned it yet. It's a Dickey Betts song, came out on Eat a Peach, which was 1971, 72 actually, mostly recorded in 71.
Eat a Peach for Peace.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's a great one. I remember it hitting me in the face. It was an early gem in the show. I happened to be at the same show that we're going to watch today, and we watched a previous clip, Midnight Rider, which was an acoustic version with Dickey just ripping out the best acoustic leads you could hope for. With that, I think we're just going to go ahead and take a look at it. Adrian, I know you've heard the song in concert. Have you ever seen the video that we're going to see?
I haven't seen the video. No,
all right.
Not seen very much Allman Brothers video. I wish I had.
Well, this is worth watching. Also, it's kind of the point where we became aware of Warren Haynes. This is kind of where he's introducing himself to the audience, kind of for the first time. I know he was probably there earlier, but nonetheless, it felt like an introduction, even at the show when they played this track. So he'll play the first solo, and then Dickey will play the next one. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and check this out.
Walk along the river, sweet lullaby, it just keep on flowing. Going.
To be honest, I wasn't sure I'd remember the song, but then I heard that double guitar riff, and that was it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. This is one of their famous classic early tracks. I don't know that people necessarily think of that song when they think of the Duane years, you know, but for sure it is one of their all-time classics. And, of course, a Dickey Betts track. And a great jamming mechanism. And, yeah, I felt the same thing I did that day. Listening to that, you're like, oh, my gosh. You know, I mean, at the end, we're all looking at each other like, I think we just witnessed history. You know, like they were doing things, you know, bands weren't really doing anymore in 1991. You know, like that little elongating out at the end like they did there. They do that. You hear that a little bit on the Fillmore East gig and, you know, the gigs they were playing with Duane way back. And I know that at this point, Warren Haynes had joined the band and Alan Woody. Both of them went on to Government Mule. Warren was a serious fan of the Allman Brothers, and it wouldn't surprise me if he said to them, hey, you know, remember when you guys were doing that stuff back in the Duane years, and you were, you know, it's like easy enough to stretch out, and you just heard like what the drummers were doing. It almost sounded like they were drumming on the ocean or creating the ocean, and everybody's floating on it, you know. And that is a great technique. Wasn't something you heard much, you know. And it was great to hear there. We're just like, oh, yeah, I think we are home now, you know, because at this point, it was only 20 years later. And both of those solos were just unbelievable to my ears. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, after that, I knew who Warren Haynes was, trust me. And and hearing Dickey sound that good, if I hadn't been won over before, I don't know why I wouldn't have been, but had I not been, I definitely would have been after this show. So there left no doubt he was absolutely amazing as a lead guitar player. And he's possibly slightly overlooked because he was in the same band with Duane Allman. Hearing that solo by Warren at that exact moment, at that exact show, made me realize that, you know what, they will be able to hit those same heights or get pretty close that they did with Duane. I mean, here's a guy that can really play amazing slide guitar that pretty much has everything, for the most part, that Duane added. Duane still had some other little tricks and things and his own personality in his playing, and I still prefer Duane over anybody. I realize that some will say there are much better players now, you know, many, many years later, including Derek Trucks. But while I like Derek, I still prefer Duane, you know, and same with any of the others. But nonetheless, it was really Duane and Dickey that launched the band in a big way with that twin guitar attack. You know, and then they had the two percussionists in there too. I mean, the whole band was an experiment that went great. You know,
Yeah.
but having Dickey in there was huge. He is deeply responsible for the legacy of the Allmans, even though he was out by 2000. Anybody, if there was ever any doubt, don't let there be any doubt. He was every bit the founding member with every bit of as much importance as anybody else.
I just dug the sound of the whole thing. You know, I mean, again, the guitar solos. I mean, I was pretty impressed with the whole song. I don't know where to begin.
Well, the cleanness of their sounds. How about that? Did you hear?
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that. Yeah, there was no distortion, was there? Not much.
Well, there was, but it's very controlled. You know, like they had a nice, clean. It was distorted, but it was just a really beautiful sound.
Yeah.
Oh, a really nice tone, both of them. With this band, you may not have heard it from your end, but the drummers being in stereo, having two different drummers playing slightly different things and complementing each other is really amazing. Like I know people might talk about the two guys in the Dead, you know, Kreutzmann and Mickey Hart, but to me, there's just no comparison to these two guys in the Allman Brothers Band. You might have to go to like Miles Davis's band from pictures and stuff, but just amazing. So I'm glad we're able to take a look at that and pay our respects to Dickey. And don't be surprised if we pull out a few more Allman chestnuts as time goes on, especially if any of you have suggestions or requests. And if you do, please leave those below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one, all right? Take care, folks.
See you all later.